Chance Englebert was the typical all-American boy growing up in the area of Edgemont, South Dakota. He is the oldest son of Everett and Dawn Englebert, who own and run their own ranch. His love for horses was evident as a young boy, whose love for the rodeo was an attraction he could not ignore. Chance became an avid bareback rider, and his dream of becoming a professional in the rodeo was in his sights and grasps. This is Chance's story through the eyes of strangers. In 2017, Chance began working at Black Jewel as a welder. It was there where he met one of his best friends, Matt Miller. Matt and Chance hit it off because they shared the love of being outdoors, and which included fishing and hunting. In October 2018, Matt served as Chance's best man when he married Bailey, the young lady that was carrying his child. Chance, wanting to give his family a good life, purchased a home in Moorcraft, Wyoming. The house had a shop in the back, which was what he needed to work on his derby cars that he loved to run. On April 4, 2019, baby Banks came into this world and was very much loved. It's been stated that they had a rocky relationship, according to family and friends. In June, Chance received word, along with hundreds others, that he would be laid off from his job, which wasn't the news he wanted to hear, because he just purchased a home, a new truck, and he and Bailey just had a newborn baby. Bailey did not work, so the financial burden was all on Chance. Matt was also affected by the layoff, but luckily Chance and Matt were both determined to find a new job, and they did. They were due to start work on July 8th at Blackman. Unfortunately, that day never came for Chance. In late June, Chance and Matt were making plans for the 4th of July holiday. The plans were to go to the ranch at Englebert's to do some fishing, but the plans fell through when Bailey decided they would be spending the holiday in Gering, Nebraska with her family, the decision that changed Chance's life and the lives of his family and friends forever. On July 6, 2019, Chance accompanied Bailey's father, Scott, Bailey's sister's boyfriend, Kyler, to the Chimney Rock Golf Course in Bayard, Nebraska. Even though he was a cowboy and not a golfer, Chance went golfing, as Bailey has stated. Unfortunately, the events that happened that day is unclear due to Bailey's changing the details in her recollection of the day. According to the latest statement given in an interview by Bailey, she has stated Chance had been golfing with her family that day and they were drinking. She called Chance and he was in a super good mood, so she decided to drive up to the golf course where they were playing. When she arrived, she got the baby out of the car and started walking over to where they were sitting, and Chance told her to get back in the car. They were leaving. She has stated she looked over at the others and they all looked confused. Before she arrived, Kyler had said something to Chance about his new job and the pay that he would be receiving. It's unclear why the others would look confused knowing they just had an argument. Some seem to think she blamed the argument on Chance due to her different statements she stated, as in he took it the wrong way, or he misunderstood. On the way back to Bailey's grandparents' home, where they were staying while in Gering, Chance told Bailey he wanted to go home. When they pulled up to the grandparents' home, he told her again that he wanted to go home. She said, "Okay, let me run in and get our bags." She got the baby out of the car, ran in and gave the baby to her grandmother, and then went back, but Chance had left walking, according to Bailey. She has stated, "I didn't think he was serious." Bailey has also stated there was no argument between her and Chance on the car ride back to the grandparents' home. If that is so, then why did she run into the house with the baby? Why take the baby in at all if they were leaving? Bailey said she drove around looking for Chance and talked to him twice on the phone. Then it started storming, so she went back to her grandparents' home to wait for him to return. It had been stated that Chance told Bailey while on the phone with her that he was headed toward Kimball and not the actual route that he took. If there was no argument between Chance and Bailey, why did he send her in the wrong direction? He left the grandparents at 7:20 p.m. and he called Matt at 7:23 p.m. asking for a ride. He said he was walking toward Torrington. He told Matt he had an argument with the in-laws. Matt was unable to pick him up, so Matt called Chance's mom, Dawn, to see if her or someone in the family could pick Chance up. Why would Chance call a friend that lived over 200 miles away to come pick him up if Bailey and him were not arguing? At 7:48 p.m., he was seen on the Domino security video. It was verified by Dawn and Bailey that it was Chance. At 7:51 p.m., he was seen on the security video at Weathercraft Roofing. This was at 10th and Martha. This was also verified by Dawn and Bailey. There is footage from a doorbell cam that may have stated that it's Chance, and many are stating that it's not Chance. It's unclear if this footage is or is not Chance due to the length of time it was brought to law enforcement's attention and how unclear the video is. And not to mention, it may appear the footage has been tampered with. Why would someone tamper with security footage? Chance departed the home on O Street and began walking north on 10th Street. The last sighting was at 7:51 p.m. Saturday as video surveillance captured him walking past the intersection of Martha Drive and Gering. Many believe he may have ventured down Owl Road, in which that runs parallel to the North Platte River. Chance was seen on video walking past two businesses in Gering and an apartment in Tarrytown. One of the videos of Chance shows him walking in the area of the intersection of Terry Boulevard and Stable Club Road in Tarrytown. From the Tarrytown area, we have no other video showing Chance walking. Later that evening, Chance's mom, dad, and uncle had texted and called, but there was no answer. His Aunt Katie messaged him and said a few words, and Chance, or someone that had Chance's phone, sent Aunt Katie an unreadable message at 9:08 p.m. that had emojis on it. Chance has never used emojis when he texts. After that last message to his aunt, Chance never called anyone else that day. On Sunday, July 7th, Bailey filed a missing persons report. During this time, a mutual friend of Chance's and Matt's stopped by Chance's house to see if he was home and found a cell phone on the porch. He then called Matt and told him about the phone because it seemed odd that a phone was left on their porch. Matt called Bailey and asked her if she knew there was a cell phone sitting on their porch. She has stated no. Matt told her that he was a few minutes away and was going to swing on by there and he would grab the phone. After they hung up, Bailey called their neighbor Larry, which is also a co-worker of Chance's, to go get the phone, and when Matt arrived, the phone was gone. The neighbor Larry took the phone with him. Larry has stated the phone was wet and muddy and took it with him to dry out. He had kept it with him while he left town and went to Deadwood for a couple days. Matt talked to Larry and he told him it had nothing to do with Chance's disappearance, to not be concerned about it. It was said the phone belonged to a homeless man, and the story changed. It belonged to a truck driver. The phone screen was frozen on 3/28, Saturday, July 6th. Hauntingly strange, to say the least. On Sunday evening, Dawn spoke with Bailey, and Bailey feared Chance would be coming home in a body bag. Monday, July 8th, the Engelberts arrived in Nebraska and helped searching for their son. Matt went to his new job to work a half a day to see if Chance showed up. HR had a discussion with Matt about a phone call they had received from Bailey. Bailey had called and told them do not hold Chance's job. After Matt talked to Chance's mom, he asked HR to hold Chance's job, in which they did. Many opinions have stated Bailey made a bold and unbefitting decision by calling the company and telling them not to hold Chance's job. How did she know her husband would not be found? The Gering Police Department stated Chance's phone last communicated with a tower near Riverview Golf Course just west of Scottsbluff. The Gering Police Department, along with the Scottsbluff Police Department, Scottsbluff County Sheriff's Office, Nebraska State Patrol, as well as employees and volunteers from over 15 other agencies and businesses conducted searches in the areas that cell phone information showed Chance's phone was pinged. The searches were aided by use of watercraft and sonar from the Scottsbluff Fire Department and Gering Fire Department. A fixed-wing airplane from the Nebraska State Patrol and a helicopter from AirLink were utilized. The central Gering Canal was drained to a very low flow rate so personnel could search it. Unfortunately, Chance was not found. On Tuesday, July 9th, Captain Rogers of the Gering Police Department called and asked Dawn and Bailey to come to the station. He wanted to brief the ladies on the searches. This is when Bailey first asked about a death certificate on Chance. Many people, including the captain, felt like this was a very inappropriate question to ask because her husband had only been missing for 3 days. Unfortunately, throughout the week, many searchers had been searching for Chance, and there was no sign of him. People started questioning the action of Bailey and her family. What really happened that day on the golf course? Was this planned? Why did the 4th of July plans get changed at the last minute? The inconvenience in Bailey's stories was evident to the public by her Facebook posts and interviews she's done. The Gering Police Department has utilized the services of search and rescue dogs along with cadaver dogs since the first week. While initial searches criteria around the area of southwest Scottsbluff, a greater area has been searched using drones along with volunteers on the ground. No evidence or traces of Chance Englebert have ever been discovered. Numerous of interviews have been conducted in connection with this investigation, including Chance's family and friends. The information in the Chance Englebert investigation does not contain the federal elements necessary for the FBI to open an investigation. FBI personnel have said that if information is developed that changes the circumstances being investigated, they will review the information with local investigators to determine if they can open a federal investigation based on information that suggests a federal violation has occurred. Has one occurred? A rumor developed and was verified by Bailey's mom during a taped phone conversation that Bailey was distributing information that the Romanians were behind Chance's disappearance. How true this bold statement is, you decide. Rumors have been out of control in regards to the whereabouts of Chance and what happened that night. All the way from he was hit by a family member or misidentity. On September 19th, a search team hired by Bailey conducted a search for Chance. It was rumored by unreliable sources that the dogs did hit on his scent on Owl Road. It was also said the information was turned over to law enforcement. It's unknown if this information was reliable, and if it was, law enforcement has not stated they researched the site. Bailey has stated her and her mother, Tracy, have done extensive searches for Chance on their own. They were focusing on areas where someone may, quote, dump a body, unquote, Bailey's words, not mine, which I find is a very strange statement within itself. How do they know where to look in areas that are designated areas in Nebraska for dumping a body? Why is she assuming someone killed him? If he has passed, couldn't he have passed from the elements or an undiagnosed health problem? Why ask for a death certificate 3 days later after your husband has disappeared? In October 2019, Chance's friend Matt and his wife decided to start searching on their own. With help of volunteers, fundraisers, and donations, Matt and his crew began their first search. November 3rd, 2019, even though he has not found Chance, he will not give up despite all the adversity he has encountered for his efforts. There has been many people like Linda Santo who has worked diligently to keep Chance's name alive But like Matt and others, she has only met adversity for her attempts to help. It leads many to believe that there is a group of people in Nebraska that hinder the search efforts and publicly attack the ones who have done the most to help bring Chance home. Deterrents such as not allowing Matt's search team to search certain properties owned or previously owned by people related or close to the Bailey's families, or property owners' barns that have been made available for Matt to use as a base area was set on fire right before it was going to be in use. Bailey calling law enforcement when Linda Santo dropped by her house to ask for an interview and if she could help in any way. This is only a few examples of the delusional hostility and mayhem they have faced in their selflessness attempts to find Chance. And now here we are, 9 months later, with his disappearance and no closure to the truth and no closer to finding Chance. Where is Chance Englebert? Did he walk away from his family to start a new life elsewhere? Were the elements of that evening too much for his body to handle as he was trying to get to his home in Wyoming? Did someone pick him up and lead him to his demise? Or is the answers we are seeking buried beneath the events that happened on July 6th at the Chimney Rock Golf Course or shortly thereafter? The question still remains, how did a healthy bareback riding cowboy disappear into thin air? Someone knows the answers to the many questions that have been asked by the public. The biggest fear is someone will take these secrets to their grave, and Chance's family will never know what happened to their precious Chance. If you know anything or have seen anything, please call the Gering Police Department at 308-436-5088. Your information will be confidential. Stay updated for more information about the Chance Englebert case here at The Missing Truth.